I'm going to show you how to do reacting mass calculations in 3 steps for GCSE Chemistry. If you follow this process, you will not go wrong.
So this question tells us to calculate the mass of hydrogen that is needed to produce 25 grams of ammonia. So if we're looking in the equation, we're talking about ammonia, which is that one, and hydrogen, which is that one. So we can ignore the nitrogen. We're not interested in that. So to do any reacting mass calculation, you always follow the same 3 steps. And the first step is that you're going to calculate the moles of the substance you've been given the mass for, which in this case is NH3, because we have been given the fact that it's 25 grams of ammonia. Okay, so to work out the moles of ammonia, we always do mass divided by molar mass. The mass in this case is 25, and to work out the molar mass, we can see here that we've got one nitrogen atom, which has got a relative atomic mass of 14, and we've got 3 hydrogen atoms, each one with a relative atomic mass of 1. So if we add them up, that comes to 17. So I'm going to do 25 divided by 17, and that gives me 1.47 moles. The second step is then always finding the number of moles for the substance you've been asked for the mass of, which in this case is hydrogen. So next we find the moles of hydrogen. And to do this, we need to look at the ratio of the moles in the equation. So the ratio is 3 moles of hydrogen to 2 moles of ammonia. And we know that the moles of ammonia was 1.47. So we use this number, we use this 1.47, and we're going to divide it by 2 to find what 1 mole would be, and then times it by 3, because that's how many moles of hydrogen we've got, and that's going to give me 2.205 moles of hydrogen. And your final step is always finding the mass of the substance they asked you for the mass for, which we know is hydrogen. Now, this is where you need to be able to rearrange your equation. We know that number of moles is mass divided by mR, so therefore mass is number of moles times by mR. We've got our moles from the previous question, which is 2.205, and we know that the mR of hydrogen is just 2 because there's 2 atoms and each one's got a relative atomic mass of 1, and that would give 4.41 grams, and that would be your final answer.
Comment below which of the calculations you'd like to see.